Football game was played today. Football game was not won. Bears lose another one. 41-10. Again, another great start. Came out of the gates, get a touchdown on the opening drive. My guy, Cole Kmet, we talked about it. Cole Kmet was going to have a decent game. Didn't get all 50, but got a touchdown. But outside of that first quarter, the Bears didn't really even get off the bus. Quentin, where you at on this one today?
Just brutal, man. Just utterly brutal. I mean, they got nothing. They got nothing on offense. They got nothing on defense. They're just playing out the last, 8 quarters of the season, trying to get to that draft pick. Like, it sucked to watch that game. I had a hard time actually paying attention to it, which is not, where you want to be as a fan. I mean, like you said, they opened the game fine with a lot of really Justin Fields runs. That's really where the yards came from, was the runs.
He had 105 yards in that first quarter.
Yeah. But outside of that, I mean, it's clear that they can't protect for him when passing. Everything needs to be play action if you're going to pass. And when you're trailing, that's not really a viable option. And the receivers are just not getting the job done. This group, I mean, it's Claypool only played like 4 snaps in the first half. I don't know what his final snap count was, but he was barely on the field, so he still wasn't right. They tried to bring him back early. I mean, he had 1 target. Pringle had 4 targets. Bayless had 1. Pettis had 1 before he got a concussion. Keel Harry had 1. St. Brown had 3. I mean, he's throwing a bunch of practice squad players, and they're not getting open. They're not executing the routes well. Like that ball that was the interception. Go back and look at that play. Like, really look at it, and you'll see they're running a man beater concept with, what was it, like 10 seconds left in the half. Like, why would the Lions be running man coverage there? Why would they not just be fencing off like the field goal range with zone coverage? And they dropped 11 guys in coverage. They didn't bring a single guy at Fields. And so you're playing 5 on 11, running a man beater when they got 11 guys in zone coverage. Like, it's just perplexing. Like, I just don't get it. And I mean, I didn't want the Bears to win today. I think I've made that clear. I want the number 1 draft pick if we can get it. But
the Texans do not
mean it's fun to watch.
No, and the Texans didn't necessarily do their part. And you know what? I think it's funny that you bring that up as I look at my microphone and it's not plugged in. So if you guys can't hear me, I'm sorry. I'm technologically ill. I'm sure you can. I got an in-house mic on the laptop. But I was sitting there thinking to myself, bro, like, at least we play exciting games. But this was very early. This was like 14-10. Like, okay, the game just started. It's like every drive has been a score and every play has been a first down. And then, like, we just stopped doing anything at all. Like, couldn't move the ball, couldn't catch the ball, couldn't tackle, couldn't get off the fucking field. The defense is arguably the worst defense that I've seen in 28 years of watching football, and it gets worse every time I watch them. And, yeah, it's hard to find the positives in a game like this, man. You really just –
outside of the draft pick, there are no positives in this game. Like,
yeah.
I mean, hell, Justin Fields got banged up more. That's great, Like,
well, yeah, they had to work on him after, like, every single drive.
I mean, this was the worst loss since last year. They lost by 35 to Tampa. But before that, next worst loss was 2014. I mean, the Bears have only lost games by 31 or more points 25 times now since the merger. So that's since, 1970?
Yeah.
Like, it's not a great place to be. But, I mean, it's kind of what we know. If it's not Justin Fields just making everything happen, this team is not equipped to hang with a team that is even a borderline playoff team.
Yeah, and that's what the Lions are. They get to 8-8 on the season, correct? They're 8-8 now, and they got one game left with an opportunity to maybe make something happen towards the playoffs. But we got no help. The Texans today, if there was another team this week that didn't get off the bus, it was them, similar to us, and they didn't even stand a fucking chance against the Jaguars. And the Jaguars are a team that, similar to us, young quarterback, just actually spent the money and put the players around Trevor Lawrence, and now you see what happens. They have an opportunity to go to the playoffs by winning next week against the Titans. So it's unfortunate.
And to be clear, I never really thought the Texans had a real shot against the Jags. Like I had 2 units on the Jags -4, but next week is where we get the tank off of the Colts and the Texans. That's where we hope to see the Texans win. Like ESPN right now gives the Texans a 66% chance of winning against the Colts next week.
Yeah, I had one system play, and that was Giants -5.5, and that system is find Jeff Saturday and fade Jeff Saturday, and it worked. So
unless it's Saturday,
unless it's Saturday, but then they'll cover but still lose. But
so, and what that creates if the Texans beat the Colts, like the Colts have incentive to lose this game because it gets the Texans out of the number 1 pick, and then the Colts, whoever their number 1 quarterback is, whether it be Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud, it could be either after last night because both guys look great. They can move up to number 1, the Colts, to go get that quarterback now. If the Texans have the pick, the odds of them moving up to get that guy is slim to none because the Texans need a quarterback, right?
Yeah.
So like they have a lot of the Colts have a lot of incentive to lose that game, and I mean the Texans probably do too. But I just don't trust Lovie Smith I just don't think Lovie Smith's a guy who's going to go out and actively do that. And I think Jim Irsay is an owner who will.